Hello, I'm Grayson Ottaway. Welcome back. This is Marvelous Videos. 9 most disturbing relationships in DC Animated Universe. The DC Animated Universe has been developed for years with its several animated series and films. As a result, its sheer expansive universe has given birth to several pairings between popular characters. While relationships between heroes and regular humans turn out to be healthier, even if they do not work out, the relationships between heroes and villains or two villains often proves themselves to be quite disastrous.
It made you romantic.
It made me do what you wanted.
Was it all bad, beloved?
Sometimes we even get to see a couple of cringy pairings or unions that were brought about without any prior indications and build-up, making them an unnatural and uncomfortable addition to the plot. In today's video, we'll go over 9 such pairings that the audience has found to be quite disturbing. And before we get into our explanation, a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to this channel. Small click for you, but for us, means a great deal. Thank you. Let's get going. Number 1. Batman and Batgirl. Starting off with 2 members from the Bat family, Batman and Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, were shown to grow a lot closer than being platonic allies in the animated film Batman: The Killing Joke. The masked vigilante has been affiliated with the Gordons for a hot minute, most notably with Commissioner Jim Gordon, who is Barbara's father, and yet no one saw the union between Barbara and Bruce coming. In The Killing Joke, Barbara is shown to be new to the Batgirl business. She tries to stop a dangerous robbery while on patrol, but fails to do so. Instead, she only captures one criminal, and that too with some help from Batman. Unfortunately, the leader of the robbers, Paris Franz, soon becomes obsessed with Batgirl and tricks her into finding the dead body of his uncle. Batman gets concerned for her safety, considering the ridiculous actions taking place, and removes her from the case. He even thinks that she'll be unable to overcome her impulse to kill the criminals if those impulses eventually arise. Batgirl gets furious and begins to call out Batman for being self-righteous. But Batman directly tells her that unlike him, she has not been taken to the edge of the abyss yet. An abyss where she will be consumed by her negative thoughts and primal instincts. Frustrated, Barbara lashes out at him and even begins to hit him. Despite Batman blocking and dodging her, she is ultimately able to throw him off balance and pin him down. But as she holds his wrists down while pinning him to the ground, the 2 masked vigilantes look into each other's eyes. The situation is odd, but something prompts Barbara to lean in and kiss Batman. Guess it's the tension, and to everyone's surprise, Batman kisses her back, too passionately. Up until here, it is still fine. What happens next is strange, as Barbara takes off her mask and also her top. Needless to say, they both indulge in some crazy lovemaking, which Barbara later describes as fantastic and like fireworks. The pairing is awkward because they had little to no chemistry. The relationship also had no build-up. Batgirl's romantic involvement with Batman's adoptive son Dick Grayson makes this part of the Killing Joke storyline even more disturbing. After their scandalous night, Batman becomes more distant and aloof with Barbara, and not too long after, the Joker breaks into the Gordon household and shoots her, paralyzing her from the waist down. Not the best way for events to play out, but a convenient way to ensure Batman and Barbara never get sexually involved again.
I'm taking that as a yes.
Number 2. Nightwing and Harley. The 2017 animated film Batman and Harley Quinn brings forth another greatly uncomfortable sexual union into the mix when Harley Quinn gets it on with Nightwing, that too in the worst of circumstances. The story kicks off with Batman and Nightwing trying to find Poison Ivy and Floronic Man for stealing confidential information. To make the chase easier, they contact Harley Quinn to find them, but she has allegedly gone off-grid. Batman leaves the Finding Harley business to Nightwing, who succeeds at finding the girl. She's now a waitress at the Super Babes restaurant and wants to lead a normal life devoid of crime. Nightwing finds her new profession odd since she has a background in psychiatry and should ideally be able to do much better than sticking to a minimum wage waitress job. However, their conversation pisses Harley off and the two get into a fight. Harley wins the brawl as she knocks him out. When Nightwing regains consciousness, he finds himself tied to a bed in front of Harley. She shows him a huge pile of rejection letters and some inappropriate job offers. She also goes on to commend Nightwing for giving her a good workout whilst referring to their fight. Soon Harley takes off her clothes as she plans to take a bath, but she does so all in front of Nightwing, in her underwear while he's tied to the bed. He clearly gets super uncomfortable, but also a bit excited as she bends down in front of him and tries to choose clothes from her closet. When Harley looks back, Nightwing's body gives his excitement away. He asks her not to get any funny ideas, but Harley switches off the lights and crawls up on him. Nightwing is evidently reluctant when it comes to this dynamic with Harley Quinn of all people, but she tries her best to seduce him. Fortunately for Harley, and unfortunately for the viewers, Nightwing gives in and even says that would be nice. He tries to divert the attention into finding Ivy's whereabouts, but Harley shushes him, and soon the two begin to make out. Later, Batman tracks down Nightwing and sees the duo in a compromised position with their clothes on the floor and the ties on the bed rest. Batman doesn't say anything because it's not like he himself has ever gotten involved with a supervillain before. Number 3. Aquaman and Wonder Woman. The 2013 animated film Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox took us to a different timeline created by The Flash after Barry Allen traveled back in time and saved his mother, Nora Allen. The change in the event caused a ripple effect in the time stream, changing every other event, but only by a bit. Soon, Flash finds himself in this new world of the Flashpoint, where he does not have any superpowers. Dr. Thomas Wayne is Batman following the death of his son, Bruce Wayne, and the Atlanteans and the Amazons are at war with one another. But why are they at war? Let's go back in time. It started off with a union between the Amazons and the Atlanteans, bringing the two powerful races together. Soon, Aquaman and Wonder Woman found themselves in each other's arms. All the while, Aquaman was married to Queen Mera, who happened to bump into both of them kissing. Needless to say, she was furious and distraught. Instead of taking out her anger on her husband, she went after Wonder Woman, while the latter was sharpening her sword. Queen Mera attacked Diana with her powers, prompting Wonder Woman to raise her sword against the Queen. Ultimately, Mera was no match for Diana, who beheaded the Atlantean and wore her crown as a trophy. Wonder Woman killing the Atlantean Queen turned the Atlanteans against the Amazons, and they cried out for war. This sentiment was shared by Aquaman, who obliged and went with the wishes of his people, which is strange considering it was kind of his fault. The union between them helped the story flow and was a good justification for why they were both at war. However, a pairing between Wonder Woman and Aquaman will not be weird, but is definitely not one of the worst couples on this list.
Nice footwork. Can you dance too?
Number 4. Batman and Phantasm. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm is a DC animated film from 1993. The movie takes us back to Bruce Wayne's life before he became Batman, and we get to see his girlfriend from back in the day. To be honest, the pairing is cute, but it's far from being unproblematic and smooth sailing. But that has been the case for almost every romantic partner for Bruce Wayne. At the beginning of the film, a mysterious cloaked figure named the Phantasm kills one of Gotham City's crime bosses. Batman is made to take the blame for it, especially by Arthur Reeves. Later, Reeves attends Bruce Wayne's party at the Wayne Manor and taunts him for his breakup with his old girlfriend, Andrea Beaumont. In a flashback sequence, we're taken back to Bruce Wayne's college days when he was dating Andrea. He always had this darkness in his heart from the death of his parents and his need to avenge them. But there was also hope. thanks to Andrea. The two were quite romantic with one another, and it was also refreshing to see Bruce Wayne be more emotionally available. He attended future expositions with Andrea and even met his father, all the while laying out the groundwork for his future as a masked crime fighter. He later pondered over what his parents would truly want for him, a life where Bruce would avenge their deaths and fight crime in Gotham City, or a life where Bruce would handle the family business and create a family of his own. It's natural for parents to want their children to choose the latter, despite how bad life got. It's even more natural for the elite to feel this way, since they want their bloodline to be continued. Bruce ultimately chose the latter instead of being a crime fighter. He also bought an engagement ring for Andrea, which she happily accepted. While they kissed, a school of bats flew past the couple, signaling that life was not going to be an easy journey for Bruce. Soon, Andrea mysteriously left Gotham City with her father and ended the engagement with Bruce via a letter. The loss of his one shot at happiness prompted Bruce to give up on the leisurely life and opt for a life dedicated to vengeance and protecting others from the same fate as his. It was later revealed in the story that Andrea and her father, Carl, left Gotham since Carl owed the Valestra mob money, which he took some time to pay back. This is why the mob wanted him to pay in blood. Following his death, Andrea set out to avenge her father as Phantasm. It's a cool love story between Batman and Andrea, but the problem lies in the fact that nothing about it is normal.
Thought you could help me scratch, cowboy. Wow!
Number 5. Deadshot and Harley Quinn. Rocksteady's Arkham series was adapted into an animated film, which turned out to be Batman Assault on Arkham. It was based on the DC villain team called the Suicide Squad, which brought Harley Quinn and Deadshot together, thanks to Amanda Waller. In this story, Batman must find a bomb planted by the Joker. He had previously foiled the Riddler's plans and sent him to Arkham Asylum. But Amanda Waller needed the supervillain to be exterminated, which is why she created the Suicide Squad. Success at the task would reduce their life sentences, but if the villains did not act according to the plan, they would be killed by the bombs implanted within them. This meant that the squad had no choice but to do Waller's bidding. Around this time, Harley Quinn met Deadshot and immediately began to flirt with him. She had broken up with the Joker, or so she claimed. Deadshot always maintained his distance from Harley Quinn, seldom giving in to her suggestive comments, but it all changed one night when she successfully seduced him and Deadshot gave in. Making the duo between Deadshot and Harley a non-platonic pairing was not the problem. The problem was the lovemaking scene between them, which was both quite unnecessary and comical. The weird animation and sound effects made it a lot worse. The live-action Suicide Squad film also portrayed borderline tension between Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn and Will Smith's Deadshot, but that was very well executed and felt very natural, especially taking Harley's personality into account. The animated pairing missed the mark by miles.
Put a little something in your beverage.
Same way I remember it.
It made you romantic.
Number 6. Batman and Talia. Batman's romance with Talia al Ghul is one for the ages. She is one of the most popular romances of The Dark Knight, and their pairing is quite the fan favorite. This union, and everything that comes with it, also does an excellent job of pushing the narrative forward. However, a superhero with a supervillain is the easiest formula for creating a super toxic relationship. Talia al Ghul is the daughter of the 600-year-old Ra's al Ghul. She's also loyal to her father's Society of Shadows, and being devoted to him, shares his vision. Her father's footsteps are far from the best ones to follow, since he believes that mass genocide will lead to the eradication of the world's problems. Technically it will, because you can't have world problems if people don't exist. However, the means are where the issues lie. It all changes when Batman comes into her life. She was tasked with finding Count Vertigo, an associate of Ra's who'd gone rogue. She met Batman around this time, and the two soon proved to be a formidable duo together as they helped each other out. They even managed to stop Count Vertigo, but she soon betrayed the Bat to reunite with her father. Around this time, they had not developed a romance as such, but it certainly was bubbling underneath. Later, Ra's himself approached Batman and asked him to save his daughter Talia, who'd been kidnapped alongside Robin. Batman eventually found out who Talia really is and also learned that they had not been kidnapped. It was just a ruse to test Batman's ability, since Ra's wanted a successor who would marry his daughter. To Batman's surprise, he found out that Talia had fallen in love with him. However, he rejected the offer, making him an enemy of Ra's al Ghul. Later, Ra's went crazy for a hot minute due to being revived in the Lazarus Pit. During this time, he tried to kill Talia, and she was eventually saved by Batman. This put her in a tough spot, because even though she was loyal to her father, she was in love with the so-called enemy and did not want him to be killed. Ultimately, she sided with Batman, and Ra's plans were foiled. After Ra's death, Batman confessed to feeling the same way about Talia as she did about him, and the two finally got involved with each other officially. But they did not live together, and Talia moved to Spain. She met Batman again after he reported that Ra's was still alive, but Talia was very hurt by the fact that her father never reached out to her. So she found comfort in Bruce Wayne, her lover and her beloved, and they worked together to find Ra's. Ultimately, they rescued him and Batman took him as a prisoner. But Talia switched sides once again and freed her father, leaving Batman stranded in the middle of a desert. These events took place in Batman the Animated Series, and they made for an exciting storyline. Sure, it was a bit unpredictable, but it doesn't really get bad until the animated film Son of Batman. Here, Talia has a son with Batman called Damian Wayne, but Batman does not know of his existence. Damian had been brought up by Talia and the League of Assassins to aid in his grandfather and his mother's vision, but he was not conceived out of love. It has been implied time and again that Talia spiked Bruce's drink and basically sexually assaulted him to steal his DNA into creating a successor who would do her bidding. Having grown up in such a ruthless environment, Damian became capable and skilled at an early age. But before Damian and Batman, Ra's had approached Slade Wilson, or Deathstroke, to take over, who denied the opportunity. However, he soon grew jealous of Damian and tried to take over the League of Assassins. The entire ruckus caused Ra's al Ghul to die, prompting Damian to develop a thirst for avenging his grandfather. To protect him, Talia fled to Gotham City with Damian and took him to see his father. Ultimately, Damian was left in Batman's care, and he even convinced Damian to never take the route of killing. Damian went on to become Robin, and the idea of a father-son fighting duo was wholesome. Even the way Talia addressed Batman was mostly romantic and cute, but the fact she basically tricked Batman into giving her a child made the whole thing very problematic.
Don't. You can't run over here at the first sign of trouble.
Number 7. Deathstroke and Terra. Appearing between villains is often really toxic and far from being anything close to a normal, healthy relationship. This absurdness is amplified with Deathstroke and Terra due to their extreme age difference. In the animated film Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, Terra is an agent of Deathstroke's who's been tasked with infiltrating the Teen Titans team and feeding information about them to Deathstroke. To join the Teen Titans, you have to be a teenager, which Terra was, and Slade Wilson is quite old here, but he was aware of the strange obsession that Terra has with him. Terra lusts for Slade, and Slade uses that to his advantage to keep her in line and under his control. He plays with her and manipulates her feelings to get her to do his bidding, which should eventually lead to the Teen Titans being drained of their powers by the terrorist cult led by Brother Blood, who hires Deathstroke to aid them. Deathstroke took Terra's help in the mission, and she believed that their relationship was genuine. She gets a pass for being a minor because she was also being manipulated, but witnessing Deathstroke take advantage of that was just gross.
With me.
If we were to do this, we'd have... Oh.
Number 8. Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle. Batman and Catwoman are a very popular romantic pairing, more so than Batman and Talia al Ghul herself. The love story has played out in comics, animated movies, cartoons, and even in live action, but the events that led to the union have been far from perfect. The crime fighter and the thief have been at odds for years, even though they are strong allies today. The 2019 animated film known as Batman Hush brings their relationship into the spotlight as Batman forms an alliance with Catwoman to go against the villain known as Hush. In the beginning, Batman rescues an abducted child from Bane, but Catwoman steals the child away. Batman pursues her, but another masked vigilante shoots through his grappling hook. Batman falls from above and cracks his skull, prompting a criminal gang to go over and make attempts at unmasking him. However, Catwoman does not allow for that to happen and protects him when Batgirl shoos the cat away. Back at the Batcave, Batman gradually recovers, while it's revealed that Catwoman is being controlled by Poison Ivy's kiss for the ransom. Batman teams up with Catwoman to find Ivy, who uses kryptonite-faced lipstick to get Superman under her control. She then commands him to kill Batman and Catwoman, prompting Catwoman to throw Lois Lane off a building to snap him out of the mind control. Soon they learn that Ivy is being made to act on the orders of a vigilante named Hush. Later, Hush kills Batman's long-term friend Thomas and threatens to hurt everyone who is close to him. This causes Batman to unmask himself in front of Catwoman, who is shocked to find out that the man behind the mask is Bruce Wayne, someone she has dated on and off throughout the storylines as Selina Kyle. She soon closes the distance between the two of them and they engage in a romantic kiss. That night, she even gets to see the slashes that her retractable claws left on his chest, which is not the best thing you'd want to see on your partner after a passionate night. He takes her to the Batcave and she meets Dick Grayson and Nightwing for the first time. She also learns of Batman having a son, Damian Wayne, making Nightwing worry about the discussions the couple has to have about it. But all is good and they become a formidable crime-fighting duo. Not too long ago, Batman and Catwoman got married in the comics. Good for them. And the final, number 9, Joker and Harley. Last but not the least, this is easily the most controversial relationship not just in DC, but in pop culture. There is nothing romantic and sweet about this union, as Harley has spent her days obsessively in love with Joker, while he treated her like filth, using her at every step to get to Batman. The Joker's obsession with Batman does not make this relationship any better. And it's not like the Joker is capable of loving Harley either. In the last episode of The New Batman Adventures known as Mad Love, we get a closer look into DC's most toxic pairing. It starts off with Harley feeling playful and sexy, but it all goes unacknowledged, as Joker cannot stop thinking about his next plan to take down Batman. Ultimately, he tosses her into the streets thoughtlessly, leaving her distraught over their relationship, as she recalls the unfortunate events that led to their weird union. Before becoming a criminal, Dr. Harleen Quinzel was a psychiatrist in Arkham Asylum. One of the criminally insane people assigned to her happened to be the Joker, to whom she soon found herself being attracted. The Joker took full advantage of this situation, and she became his therapist to learn more about the mind of the high-profile criminal. He showed his vulnerable side to her, making her sympathize with him and eventually fall in love with him. After the Joker escaped the asylum, Harley grew concerned about his safety, as the Joker was then beaten to a pulp by Batman and brought back to Arkham. Seeing her beloved in such a terrible state broke Harley. On that very night, she bought a set of weapons and a new outfit to unveil her new identity as Harley Quinn for the first time, and the first crime she committed was releasing the Joker. But their relationship became one full of mistreatment and abuse, as he psychologically tortured her for his amusement. In other storylines, we've also seen how the Joker made Harley Quinn jump into a vat of acid in Ace Chemicals to make her prove his love for him. And of course, she did it, which gave her the signature clown look that mimicked that of the Joker's. But nothing she ever did make him love her, as the Joker was incapable of loving someone. He often uses her as bait to lure Batman out and even physically abuses her, and yet she keeps going back to him because of how mentally traumatized she is. In Mad Love, she begins to blame Batman for her relationship troubles, as the Joker is always engrossed in ideas revolving around eliminating Batman. As a result, she wants to eliminate him first, so she arranges a master plan to kill Batman, and by extension, make the Joker happy and fix the relationship. Even Batman finds it amusing because he knows that Joker will never love her or anyone. When the Joker comes to the scene, he's furious at Harley for trying to kill Batman because he wants to be the one to do it. He throws her out of the window and she falls on the street. Almost on the verge of unconsciousness, Harley still keeps blaming herself for not being able to understand the Joker. Later, Harley Quinn is taken to Arkham for her recovery. She also makes up her mind to be done with him once and for all. But when she notices a flower and a note from the Joker by her bedside, she changes her mind, proving that she still cannot let him go. Fortunately, this does not last forever, and at present, not only has Harley gotten over the Joker, but she has also evaded the life of crime and sided with Batman. If you like our content, please leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thank you.